problem, and he just probably let it spiral out of control. Once the snowball start rolling, it just pick up
Right,
speed as it go down.
right, and really what's going on, and this is where we differ at, and that's why people see me and I got a lot of humility. That, like he could be somebody, and he could still be. He got time. Um, he, if he didn't have the ego so much, a part of the ego to where he can but you would never really hear him ever say that like he care about what you know what I'm saying, or say like, oh yeah, this was the problem because ego. But I don't have no problem with saying something that's real, that's true. But if he, like I told him off the phone in private, so I'm not gossiping to y'all right now. But when we first did the panel in the summer, when we got on the phone and he got into it with the person that was interviewing us, and we just on the phone, just me and him. I'm just like, bro, the ego. We got to get the ego. He was like, nah, it ain't no ego. Ego is good. So it let me know right there that we just got different perspectives. I'm not saying that my perspective is right or wrong. I'm just saying we just got different perspectives. So it's kind of like getting in the way of things. Like people be wanting, like, believe it or not, out of all the shit that they heard about Nature Boy, whether they believe it or not, it's still a lot of people who want to give, like, they be wanting to like him.
Yeah.
Like it be people that come to me like, man, I don't really know that cat. I don't fuck with that cat, but I want to like. I think it may be Hope, or I kind of, he seemed like he could be cool, but like it's people who want to like him, but it's kind of hard to let people like him because the way he responds to him, like, well, fuck y'all don't like, fuck you, bitch. So like the ego kind of gets in the way of his success with kind of winning people, if I could say that, if that makes sense. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? So it kind of play in a way, and I'm not, and that's not me saying I feel sorry for him or I'm trying to make people like. No, I'm just giving you my perspective on things. It don't make it true. Just from what I observed, because he can be a likable person. I feel like he can be a likable person to certain people. Some people can like him, believe it or not. You may not like him, not you, but people may not like him and they may want him to burn. But I'm saying there's people out there that actually watch him every day that may be wanting. Like I've seen certain comments and people are trying to like, thank you, baby. I appreciate that shield, Scorpio, babe. And there's people who actually want to like him, but then they just can't like him because then he just come and just be like, and fuck the black, the bitch and that bitch is gonna like he get in his own way. He is his own
You
worst
know
enemy
what?
at
That's
sometimes.
you're honestly right, because I'm gonna be honest. When I first came on here, I one of his pages was the first one I stumbled across, and I just kind of dig a lot of the information because it was a panel situation, kind of like this. And I was
Right.
like, okay, he seems very knowledgeable. But what I do know about him, just from watching and listening, is that he's just not. He doesn't really know who he is as a person. So it's not to bash him or anything like that. That's why he can flip flop in and out of
And
different
let me see if he,
personalities.
matter of fact, let me see if he up here so I can see. Hold on, I was about to check him out. Q, 'cause I would let him speak for himself. Like I say, I'm never trying to. To me, that's just well, I ain't talking to anybody who do this or the bloggers or nothing like this. But this me, myself, and my character. I'm never that type of person to where I got a bad like I'm not here to like. That's not even like I'm too focused on my own life. So like
Hmm.
he can, if he wanted to come up here and speak for himself. I'm not, for some of the people, but I know sometimes he probably feel like he getting attacked, so he probably like, hell no, I'm not about to do that because some people, they don't know how to conversate,
Yeah.
like how I know how to conversate with somebody, converse, and things like that. So I don't think it's that he's not open. I just think that some people don't know how to convey a message like I do, so it can come off to make him feel a certain way to where he's gonna make him put his back against the corner to where he got to be defensive because he got a lot of ego, so that can trigger that. But I'm not no fucking psychologist. I don't really know that. I just
Yeah,
think
me
that,
either. But
you feel
we
me?
do know the word says that pride always comes before the fall. So that ego and that pride is something that we just really got to learn how to let go, because it doesn't really get us nowhere, and it's only an advantage to us in certain situations. Like, so
Right.
when you securing yourself,
Don't
a
worry, y'all.
motherfucker
Number
could
two
shake your
next.
bottle up
Go
all
ahead.
day and you won't explode. But when you're not, you're gonna be like a can of soda, as
Right.
opposed to being a water bottle. You understand what I'm saying? You
Right.
can shake a bottle
Right.
of water and open it, it ain't got nothing's happening. But you shake up a
Right.
soda, it's gonna go everywhere. So, anyways, I just wanted to, give that little bit, and I'm not hating on him, and I really appreciate both of you guys' platform. I just feel like, that he just hurt really, and he kind of really admire you, and I think like underneath it all, that
And
hurt his feelings.
right, 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 right. Well, thank you, Toya. I appreciate you, Queen. Always stay connected. All right.
No
Next.
problem. Thank you
Yes,
guys.
indeed. Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. Um, uh, Nah, I'm still rusty, y'all. I'm still new. I haven't even been on here a month, y'all. So give me a second. I still be moving slow. And for the man they've been waiting for, man. What's up with you, God? What's going on with you?
Peace, God. What's going on, man?
Peace, God, man. Yeah,
Yeah,
yes.
you know the folks been waiting. They see me getting his ass up
Oh,
on
yeah.
the
Y'all don't
T.
get along.
No, it ain't personal, man. It's the knowledge piece. If you watch the T, I'm on there, man. You know, we had a little conversation,
Oh,
right?
okay, okay.
And he was running from the truth. He couldn't answer none of the questions about the knowledge, right? Because I could
Mhm.
care less where a man puts his penis. You know what I'm saying? That's his business.
Right, right,
But you know what I'm saying? With regards to the knowledge, he can't stand toe to toe to nobody that really got no real one. And when
right,
it comes
right.
to the knowledge, right? Let me put you up on a little game as far as Nature Boy is concerned. First of all, we do have his chart. I got his chart, right? The right chart, and hopefully
Mhm.
he's listening so he get a little edge up on his game. So he's a
Mm.
Gemini ascendant, right? Which explains the Dr. Jekyll, Mr. Hyde disposition, right? It explains the gift of gab, right? It explains 1 minute he's one personality, the next minute he's somebody else, right?
Mm.
And that's just the baseline of who he is, right? His sun is in Aries, right? It's not in Taurus, it's not in Aquarius, and none of us. It's in Aries. That's why he has an egomaniacal disposition, right?
Right,
He has a ego that's out of this world, and I got one too. But I back mine up with knowledge, right?
right.
Brother, if I'm correct, right, I believe your sun is in Aquarius, not in Western astrology, but in my system, right, which
Oh,
gives you an even killer character,
what's what's
right?
what's the what's the what's the difference? Like I don't know nothing about it. Like I know
So let
as far as when we looking up something, I'm a Pisces and my son is Taurus. I mean my moon is Taurus and my son is
so
well my son is Pisces, my moon is Taurus, and my ascendant is Cancer.
okay. So what we do is we take 24 degrees off of the chart and move it back, right? So most people are actually the sign prior to. So I'm not going to try to pry on your business, King, but if you're born between February 15th, right, and March 14th, you're actually an Aquarius, right?
Oh, okay.
So, right, that gives you a disposition to even kill a character, right? It makes you shine amongst the dull, right? That's why you have your drip, right?
Right.
So, right.
Right. Okay.
So, what it does also is it makes
Something
you a
king
well-rounded individual,
already.
right? It makes you well-rounded, smooth in character, right? A little stubborn, right? And can be forceful when need be, right? But
Right.
his sun is in Aries, right? His sun is in Aries, which literally means he has a lot of sexual issues because of the part of Aries as it's in. So everything that y'all see can be witnessed to his chart. Now he does have a heart, right? That dispositionally has some issues with regards to his upbringing because Mars and Saturn are conjunct, right? This is all who he is. It's opposition to Venus, which gives him sexual issues further, and it also causes him abuse of women. So this is all dispositionally poor. It's all in his chart, right? It's lined up. That's how I'm coming at him. If you can't tell me and break things down from a knowledge perspective and be on point with your knowledge, you need to sit down because you're misdirecting people. People want knowledge, they want the truth. If you out here confusing and confounding people and you don't even know who you are, how can you direct and guide anybody else?
Yeah, I've said that on a clip on YouTube where that's going back. I mean, on YT where that's going back and forth. Um, when it comes about getting the knowledge of self, you know, uh, a lot of. Well, anyway, I'm gonna let you talk. Yeah, I'm gonna let you continue to go. Go ahead, say your thing.
So, when it comes to this, man, the whole point is that you're supposed to be out here putting knowledge out as far as the right knowledge. And if you can't back up what you say, there's just certain principles that you should be able to articulate if you really practice astrology, right? There's certain things you should be able to give to people, the pulse of the planet, how fast planets move, the orbits of the planet. Those are basic things that all astrologers should know. I asked them which location the ecliptic is in. That's the actual place where the stars move throughout the heavens. You can't tell me. So no, you're not doing astrology. You're just reading stuff off of Facebook. You're reading stuff off of Instagram. You're reading stuff off of I think Cafe Astrology, right? You're not doing no real. You're not producing no real science. That's why he always has to go to a computer or he has to always go to a phone. He can't never stand toe to toe with somebody that has real knowledge. And that's why if he would sit down with me, I can show the people he don't know what he's talking about and he might be actually learn something in the process. If you use a knowledge and you got queens that you directing, for example, I used Eliana, right? Her moon is actually in Gemini, right? His ascendant is in Gemini. So that means when they converge like that, that's why they have that kind of love-hate relationship. They can't let each other go, but they can't stand each other, right?
Mm.
So when you know that, when you have knowledge of self, then you can actually apply it and choose the way you deal with people. Like you were saying, brother, he does have some good qualities about him, right? I'm
Right.
not going to berate the brother and beat him down to the point. He does have Jupiter in the fifth house, and that's a very powerful indication of someone that can be a guru, right? But
Mm.
at the same time, it's imbalanced, right? It's not the
Right.
way it's situated is aspected by some planets that are extremely malefic, and so he has a crooked heart, right? That crooked
Mm.
heart is not a good thing to be leading the people with. He does have Sun in the 11th, which that's why he gets people to follow him, right? That's why people literally can't help
This
but,
should
you
get
know
deeper
what?
than this should get deep right here.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. It's real, right? His ascendant lord is in the 12th house. That's why he moves from country to country. He's unstable. He's physically unstable, right? That's why he moves around a lot. That's why he can't sit still, right? All these things are basically who he is. So once you know yourself, what do the ancestors tell you to do? Know thy what? Know
So,
thyself, right?
right. So,
So if you don't know who you are, you're gonna mislead other people. And I'm here to show that you don't know what you're talking about. I'm here to stand on. You see, I'm rattling this. I don't look at nothing. I ain't looked at nothing. Right. This is all up in here. This is in here. This is where the computer is. Right. Not on the phone. Right. But right here. Our ancestors used this. Right. They didn't use, buttons and things like that. You have to memorize these things. When you deal with, for example, I don't know if you know what Ifa is, right? Ifa is a
yeah,
traditional African
I heard.
divination system, right?
Right.
You have to memorize everything. You can't go to a book and look it up. You have to have it in here, right? Then it goes in here, right? Because if you're doing it right, then you live it right, right?
And see, real quick, let me just come in. And that's why I don't know if you caught the live the other day, because it sounded like I was shading, but I wasn't shading when I was saying that if this is your lane, like I'm not gonna try to combat you at your lane. This is your lane when it comes to knowledge. That's your lane. But if it's your lane, you don't have to go to it. And I'm still not shading. It's still gonna come out, but you don't have to go to YouTube or look up a app or something like that. If this is your lane, when it's your lane, this is your lane. You see what I'm saying? So what you saying right now, yeah, it sounds like this is your lane. This is what you do and shit like that. But you got to know yourself. If you're gonna teach it, then master it. I always say become a master of it. You know what I'm saying? Because we all on different parts of our journeys. So and nothing's wrong with that. But if this is what you're teaching and you call yourself a master, and this is not me hating, but just become a master of it to where you just know that shit, where it's up in you. It's up in you, and you can just. That's my opinion, though. That's just my opinion. It don't make it true. But go ahead, do your thing.
No, you're right, brother. You're right. And like I see a couple of your lives. I see you on the pimp game. If I need some pimp knowledge, I'm coming to
Right,
drip, right? I know you know your shit, right? But
right.
in this lane, right, you gotta stand on what you know, and I can prove to you, right, that anybody that does this, they should be able to know that every 4 minutes is 1 degree in the sky, right? Every hour is 15 degrees. Every 2 hours is one sign, right? You should know that. That should be automatic in your drill. So when I ask you what is the actual ascendant, you should be able to tell it to me without going to the computer, right? That's somebody that does and practices what they preach, right? But again, when you have a Gemini ascendant, that's hard to do because you're everywhere, right? You can't stabilize yourself. And I have compassion for the brother because I'm here to help him find who he is if he would just listen, right? But if you understand, know thyself, it means that your weaknesses and your strengths are inherently part of your character. And if your character is foul, you got something to deal with. I'm not saying he's foul as far as where he puts his penis, but beating women, that's the problem. Because if you in the clink and they know you rape kids or beat women, you get your ass beat. That's why he never
Oh
been in
yeah,
prison,
yeah, it's
right?
crazy.
That's just GP. When you come in there and you fuck with kids, nigga, that's your ass, right? So that's my concern is the kids and the women. All that other what you do personally and your butt and all that, that's your business. I don't care about that. But when you spit knowledge foul, you disrespect women and you abuse children, that's a problem. right? And
Right,
that's why
right.
a real man is supposed to stand up and say, nah, none of that shit's going down on my watch, right? And all that you're talking about in person, all that person shit, when you in jail, you know the first one that open their mouth is the first one to get hit, right? So,
Yeah, it's a totally
right,
different
that's just how
code.
it go.
Totally different code.
Totally
You know.
different, right? So, you know what I'm saying? When it comes to knowledge, y'all, you got to put it out there that this man does not know a tenth of what he's supposed to know, right? And that's my job is to be out here to show it, that what they say in Malcolm X, you put a glass of clear water and a glass of dirty water, the people gonna drink, right?
Can I ask you this real quick before you go? Did
For
you come
sure.
with this type of energy? Why couldn't y'all have communicate like this? Because it
We
seemed like
did,
you're
but
very.
he hung up
Oh, okay, okay, yeah. It
like
seemed
he
like you.
does.
Oh, okay, okay,
Yeah,
okay.
yeah, he hung up. He can't
Well, that's
stand against like you know you can absorb it because your ego doesn't rule you, right?
right.
When a man has sun in, let me tell you something. When a man has sun in Aries at the 15th degree, that's mid sign degree, right? That means it's at some at maximum strength. It's at maximum strength. It's hard for you to see through your ego, right? You can't get over yourself. That's why this is one of the worst this is one of the worst things for him because it's feed his ego so much, right? It's about to explode. But when it, like you say, before a fall, right? Pride comes, right? So I'm
It's
here as a harbinger, right? To let people know and to let him know, right? God don't play with ugly, man, right? When you come out
right,
here and you start pretending like you some kind of messiah or you come somebody special, somebody will show up to check you.
right. Well, man, y'all. Whenever you want to come through and build, man, I'm here. Like I said, man, I can learn a little bit from anybody, from anybody. You know what I'm saying? I don't know everything, and why if you I never met a wise man who did. You know what I'm saying? So if you count yourself as wanting to learn, you got to continue to learn. And I feel like you got a lot of information that's out there that may be good for a lot of people that I see, even the people in the comments. I just appreciate you for sharing the time with me. Yeah, to help
Brother, I
me get that
appreciate you having me on for sure, King.
already. Matter of fact, you can even stay up here if you want to. You can stay up here just in case anything. But I appreciate you. Or you can leave. It's up to you. It's up to you.
For sure, man.
But
I'm gonna hang out for a minute.
already. What's going on with you, Queen?
Hey, how are you?
I'm blessed. Blessed and highly favored.
Good, Mr. TKO. I love you. You know what I'm saying? You the shit.
Love you too, baby.
You the shit. You know what I mean? You confused me for a minute. So I'm an Aries, right? I'm the shit y'all was just talking about, but I heard you talk about it first with your ex or the lady you was dealing with, just
Crazy.
fiery, crazy than a motherfucker, right? So I give you that. But I'm gonna start here before because I got a little bit. I ain't gonna take too much time.
Now you
With
good.
you,
Go ahead.
um, beforehand, like, were you this calm and collective? I'm talking about before the penitentiary because I know what you was into and the lifestyle that you had. Were you this calm and just let shit pass over? Because I'm confused.
Mm. Well, I mean, if you understand, like brother man was saying, my chart was a certain type of way, but I was this toxic. I was more toxic. I had a lot more growing to do, on this journey. We don't start off like we are today, but we shouldn't.
Yeah,
We should
yeah.
be always evolving and growing and things of that nature. So, of course, I wasn't who I am today. Nowhere near the person who I was, but Um, I wasn't like wild or nothing. I was always charming. I was always the player type.
I
I
can
was
tell
always,
that.
I was
I can
always,
tell.
I was always cool and things of that nature. But just when I get in my feelings, I had so much emotionalism. I was brought up by girls. I never had a father. I never had nobody show me how to be a man. So I had a lot of bitch shit. Excuse my French. I had a lot of bitch shit about me. That I had to change and I had to correct. Because it was infiltrating all the relationships in my life. So I would get easily offended. I would, fly back because this is what I was used to seeing. So I would fly back just like a bitch would. So when an argument happened, I'm acting just like the bitch. And as a man, you can't represent yourself in that type of way. So I had to add a lot of self discipline, a lot of structure to my life. I had to, structure came with reading books, self knowledge books about the ego, about the mind. I had to educate myself behind those four walls, and I had to
That's
study.
what
I
I'm
had to get,
saying. So
yeah, I had to
prison
get
though,
quote.
prison
Yeah, I
or
had to,
jail.
Yeah, I had to get close and get in tune with myself. And but at the same time, it's not just a spiritual aspect that people get. Don't get me wrong, spirituality is beautiful and it plays a big part of my life. But actually reading books on the ego and on the mindset, figuring out that wait a minute, I'm not even my mind. See, a lot of people are controlled by their mind, but they don't control their mind. Our mind is just to be a tool for us, and a lot of us don't know that. So when we think a thought, we identify ourselves with that thought, but we're not our thoughts. So these are all things that I had to learn. I had to learn that I'm actually God conscious, and I'm just the observer of the feelings that I feel. I'm not those feelings. So when I feel anger, I have to remind myself, get back present. Stop playing mental movies in your head about whatever's going on that's making that arouse in you, and understand that you're God conscious. You're not that anger that you're feeling. Observe it. And once you understand that, I know that sounds weird to some people. They're probably like, what the fuck is he talking about?
I got you.
But these are things that I had to learn and I had to study about myself. So when we talk about getting knowledge of yourself, it's not only about one way. It's not only about, I think all of these things, even about the chart, I think all of these things play a certain type of it's very essential for you. It's
I
very
get you.
imperative
You're
that
getting
you may
ahead of
know.
me though, sir. You're getting
Oh,
ahead of
oh,
me.
go ahead. I'm sorry.
Yeah,
I'm sorry.
no,
Let
no,
me
that
let me
let
chill.
me
Let me
ask you
let
this
me.
though.
Don't get
When
me,
you went to
Aries.
prison,
Go ahead.
it was a prison or jail, first of all.
In 2014, I was fighting 10 to life for 7 months. I got out on probation, and then in 2017, I ended up going to prison for going to Hawaii without permission, and they sent me there for 2 years.
Okay,
So both.
so once you went to prison, was it then to where? Because I know, like in the street, you ain't able to sit down and really grasp reality. To me, like
Um.
seeing what I'm used to, like with the, typical guys. Usually, it's when you do go to prison, you're able to, grab books, sit down, because you got nothing but time to think about. You ain't got shit but time. So you
Okay.
pick up a book, you learn some shit. You know what I mean? And on top of what you learned that was enlightening, that can help you move forward in life, was it also because I've coming from the street, I know that in prison as well, you got a lot of books. You got books on manipulation. You got books on how to, fuck with a motherfucker man. You got a lot of books in life. So yeah, there's enlightening, but there's also manipulation. So that goes to the nature boy shit, right? Because I
Hold on,
feel
but I
like,
want to answer that question.
okay, go
Move
ahead.
on. I'm trying to.
Yes,
All
sir.
right. All right. Hold on, because I said it's echoing. So I'm gonna just meet you real quick. Um, you can learn these things on the streets. It's about discipline. It's about structure. So I never want to paint a narrative that you have to go to prison or you have to be isolated to do this. It's all about your discipline. So with me, I didn't have discipline. So in my case, there's certain things that transpired in my life that the universe seemed that was fit for me to where it set me down because I was going 10 miles per hour. It set me down to where its prison was. Anyway, so all I wanted to say is, with me already being on the journey before I got the prison, even this might sound be the first time y'all hearing this. I had nines in 2013. I would get all my hoes together before they go out, and we would pray together. I'm not saying that was, but we would do things like that, and we would go to church. All these type of things because I grew up in Christianity. And now I'm more spiritual. So I always had certain things about myself that I was searching for, but I didn't have the understanding. So I had, those are destroyed for their lack of knowledge. And I was going on a path to self destruction because I didn't have a lot of knowledge that I needed. But I was always praying those nights where I didn't have peace. Those nights that I didn't know if the police or the feds was going to bust through my door. Those nights when bitches were setting me up, like I got set up in California, in Rosemead, California. Those nights that I almost lost my life because I knocked the nigga for his bitch, and now he coming with his goons and shit in California to kill me. It was things that I was going through, and I was like, you know what, God, I don't want to live this life no more. But I didn't know it was gonna go like that. I ended up facing life for something I didn't even do. But I was perceiving it as a negative thing, like, God, how could you even allow it? But not knowing that it was never negative in the first place. It was never negative or positive. It was just to shape my life in the right direction to save me. so I can be who I need to be on earth. So when people see me now and I'm flossing, because that's still my personality, like brother was saying, like the way I drip, I'm a star, I shine bright, my personal magnetism, my charisma, my gift, the gap. I know it, that confidence. But people get that because my image is a little bit different. They never seen a conscious brother like that. And I don't even like to call myself conscious because I don't want to be in the conscious community and nothing like that. But what I'm saying is I'm a different type of breed because I know what I'm rooted for. I know what I'm really here for. I'm really for the people. But some people can only scratch the surface because I carry myself as still in a, I guess we could say, a pimpish playerish manner. You know, but anyway, I'm getting off the subject. My bad. I ain't trying to do that no more. I'm gonna let you talk. Go ahead, do your thing.
No, that was you. But no, it wasn't. I wasn't saying like you got enlightened once you went to prison for writing
Okay.
books. I understand that, but I just say to me, from again coming from the streets and what I see, niggas don't get enlightened until they go to prison. So they on the streets. Their mind is somewhere else. They're not on trying to figure out different things. So that's what I meant on that aspect. Not that you weren't. And it's good to know that you were. That shit shifted prior to. But that was a sign. You know what I mean? As far as what I feel out of it. But what I said first, and again, not a bash, because when I seen him first before I seen you. So I seen him and it's like, all right, some of the things he say, I could see how you would listen, right? Because he got some sense. But again, to me, it come from a book because when you talking to me, it starts off robotic. No, it starts off natural and then it goes to robotic because when you're asked questions, you can't elaborate on it. So then I'm confused. You know what I mean? You know what you mean? And I see that he's confrontational, especially when a man come at him because he felt like a man shouldn't come at him. Period. I seen him like a couple days ago talking to some guy and he was just asking him questions on simple things and it was his field. You know what I mean? The horoscope or different biology and he's this and he want to ask like he asked you, you know, what is melanin, you know, simple shit like I ain't getting it. But he got so mad at dude he dropped him. It's like I know what I'm talking about, y'all don't believe me. Just how far he goes on the crazy spectrum. To me it's bipolar, whatever. That's you. I just feel like we all got a journey, we all go through shit, we all, you know, it takes us a while to get to certain places, right? So he figured out, he read enough books to figure out how to manipulate some women. I'm pro woman too at the same time. Fuck a nigga. I'm pro woman. But I see him how he manipulates the women. And that's what bothers me. But then I had to, like, as you grow, you learn, you mature, your mind develops. So you realize that everybody not, this internet is the devil. But everybody not, you know, on the same, like as y'all say, energy or wavelength or level that you are as far as mentally. They haven't gotten there. Say not to say that they
Right.
ain't, they haven't
Right.
gotten there. So some people are easily manipulated by a smooth face. When I first seen you, I came on here, I'm like, damn, his smile pretty than a motherfucker. You know what I mean? Like I'm looking like God,
Right.
just different shit mesmerizing. So it's hard for a motherfucker to come on this app and it's supposed to be, and y'all the first two that's not drama, that's not about bullshit. That's not about pull-ups. That's not about the typical, and I'm just being real, Key Street bullshit. Sorry.
Mm.
But it was some different shit. So like I say, him first, okay, figure out he like to beat women. I don't get the fucking in the ass. I don't get why you feel like you gotta fuck a bitch in the ass and then only when she ovulating you fuck her in the pussy. I'm confused. So to me, that's some bestiality type shit.
Mm.
And then you coming on here, you talking to people. You got 2,000, 3,000 people in your room or whatever. You got a lot of people that's listening to this. And then I see the women that's drawn into this. Yours as well. You went to that 2 day pimping and hoe shit. I was fucked up. I was confused. I got it once I
Right.
listened to it. You know what I
Right.
mean? But I was thrown off because you're supposed to be on here, both of y'all. Y'all enlightening us. Y'all giving us something that we supposedly don't know. But all I'm seeing is pimping
Right.
and hoes and him manipulating bitches to fuck him
Right.
in their ass, to sleep on the floor. I'm confused. I'm
Right.
not knocking nobody for what they do because that's what you choose to do, right? In life, we all got choices and we make choices. I feel like he in a fucked up situation mentally. He didn't have his mom, he didn't have his dad. All that shit play a part. As a people, and I mean black, white, whatever, we don't realize certain shit that we have, you know, dealt with in our childhood and our adolescence that forms us into the adults that we come to be 21, 22, 23. This man, I seen a porn of this man. I'm like, what the fuck? Be real about whoever you are. I appreciate you because you came on here and you was real. You gave who you was. It wasn't no sugarcoating. You know what I mean? This is what I did. This is where I'm at now, and I appreciate that. I can respect you being real. Anytime I pull up, you know how many motherfuckers on the internet? People don't even watch TV no more. Everybody on the internet, like gangsters, like real niggas, real killers, real hoes, real bitch. Everybody, nigga, somebody will pull up on you. You talking tough, but you in a hole like. It's just, it be mind-boggling to me with this internet, but people take it so seriously. You're not gonna know me. I don't know you. I be whoever I want to be. So you're gonna say, oh, you wouldn't say that in my face. Why wouldn't I? You a pretty boy. That's where they get it fucked up at.
Right,
You know what I mean? Like you are, whatever, nigga. I come with the same energy, and that's my whole thing. I'm gonna come with the same energy you come with. Respect me, because I'm a man first.
Right.
And he don't respect men. You know what I mean? And then he degrade women. So whatever he get out of that, kudos to him. Hopefully he'll grow up. But he already got that stain on his life, nigga. You was bent over like your ass in the air. And like some weird shit. And whatever you choose to do behind closed doors is your business. But it's on the internet. We all see that. So of course people gonna have a fucking opinion about everything on the internet.
Right.
You know what I mean? Motherfuckers got opinions. It's crazy. The internet. But again, I love you. I love your wife. I mean, Armani, the girls. I just say take it slow in whatever you do. You know what I mean?
Yes, indeed.
That's what draws people to you, because you. Even though, like, I know, I feel like, I know you. I don't know you, but I know you. You know what I mean? And I'm, like you say, that spirit of discernment. You know what I mean? Let's go on here and be open to it, And we don't have no other choice, but it's just like there's so many characters. You can be whoever you want to be. You can be whoever.
Well, that's actually what it said, and not to sound too biblical, too religious, but that's what it said even about in the Bible. It's going to be so many different false prophets. You got to have that gift of discernment, But first of all, I just want to tell you thank you for expressing yourself, thank you for understanding, and even when it comes to anything that I talk about, whether it's pimping and hoeing, whether it's the music industry, whether it's spirituality, is always here to enlighten people, and it's because you got to understand. Well, I know you know this, but it's people from all factions of life that we touching every day, and God is just using me in a unique way that's different.
Understand He using you. That's the thing.
Yes,
Understand that a lot of people look